Hello everyone, KingslayerKoshy, and welcome to what's essentially the end of the main campaign of this game.
No telling where
this is the last major area of the game, and it's gonna be a huge it's gonna be a very long part.
Just needs to get that shard from Zolf and come on home.
So essentially we're fighting through
Tazal Terminals, hardest of all.
the stronghold, and here I'm trying to take advantage of the range because I don't really have a good gun for this. But yeah. This is going to be the end of the main campaign for Bastion. There'll be one more part after this dedicated to the extra dream sequence involving Rux, but after this that'll be pretty much it. This is a very long level. You'll be fighting a lot of different, a lot of Ura, a lot of Rattletails, and a bunch of different enemies just to make it all the way to Zolf in the core, and there's a couple of interesting things that you can do. Well, not necessarily interesting, but just a couple of things that the game throws at you to make this a bit more interesting or something. You'll see when we get there, but as of right now, this is just a glorified gauntlet. What this place is essentially is a glorified gauntlet. And for the most part, it's not too bad. But I do die, but that's mostly because of my recklessness. And I think I die here early, but that's mostly because of my own reckless nature. And just keep going. Yeah, this is where I get killed. I get killed off by this friggin' poison dart guy. I gotta level up, although it doesn't really mean much in the grand scheme of things.
There's not much left to do here in the back.
Unless you're doing the new game plus.
So why not tell each other stories to pass the time, right?
Just for this level, just pick your best weapons, put your best foot forward, your best weapons combo, and pretty much it's just a streamline to the end of the game. It's a glorified gauntlet. There's a decent amount of platforming involved.
There's another reason.
Actually, there's not really a decent amount of platforming, but there is some platforming introduced because of a special thing that they introduce in this level. But anyways, use all the tactics that
Something I want you to understand. When the kid brings back that shard,
use whatever skills that you've learned throughout the game that you find the most comfortable, and just fight your way through. There really isn't much to say. This is a pretty simple mission overall, just in comparison to the rest of the game that I've dealt with. So I guess while this is going on, I guess I can talk about the next thing that I'm gonna do after Bastion is done. I should be able to finish recording the post-commentary for Bastion by probably today, Actually, definitely today I should be able to do it. If I don't, it's probably just mostly because of laziness of my own. And at that point, it's not really so much, it's going to be more of an excuse rather than an explanation, so... Yeah, I'm pretty much done with Bastion at this point. I'll just probably be doing the last recording today, and then afterwards, recording schedule will... Well, the upload schedule will be going on its own pace. I have one more playthrough to do post-commentary for it. I had the footage done for a long time. I just never was able to do the post-commentary for it because circumstances.
What happens to Zolf will no longer matter.
But now, in terms of future playthroughs, I'm gonna leave it up in the air because with me, I promise playthroughs, but sometimes they're flipped on their head essentially. And at this point in time, I'm just kind of done trying to say what's to come. And at this point in time, I'm just going to say it straight. Whatever happens, happens. Also, and what you saw right there is kind of the bullshit that I meant to that I was trying to mention about how sometimes the trapper snare won't work at all with the freaking because all they like to do is just move up, teleport all over the goddamn place. But anyways, yeah. In terms of future playthroughs, I'll decide what I'm gonna play, and I'll do the post commentary for it and upload it. But even if I don't do anything for myself, I do have plenty of content ready for.
Problem is,
the channel to upload anyway. It's just gonna be a matter of me uploading everything and just setting it all up properly, and then just
we're not gonna die.
Letting it go through.
It's more like all of this will just stop. Things will go back to the way they used to be.
Although the next game that I do for the channel may not be a post-commentary playthrough based on how the game is structured anyway.
Is a living record of the times before the calamity.
What game will be? I still haven't decided yet. But for right now, that's really all I can say in terms of Let's Plays and stuff. So for right now, I'm just going to finish the post-commentary for these two playthroughs that I have yet to finish. And then afterwards, you'll just see for yourself. Also, this is the spear that I was talking about. It's called hopscotch, and what essentially it does is allow you to jump. I don't know why they decided to give you this, but it just feels kind of unnecessary. It feels very unnecessary because the thing is, it doesn't even carry into New Game. They do have a New Game Plus, but they don't even. This doesn't even carry into New Game Plus, so this just feels kind of tacked on, to say the least. They could have taken out the hopscotch altogether, and it still would have played out the same way anyway. This game was never primarily a platformer to begin with, so this just feels very tacked on, and like most endings, the game just kind of feels rushed. well, not the game, but this ending just kind of feels rushed. Then again, that's kind of the case with a lot of games. So I can't really fault it too much.
No mistakes.
Anyways, just keep moving on. Fight your way through, and eventually we'll get to the end.
Everything you've ever done, you could do it over. And wouldn't that be grand? Wouldn't you agree? Well, I guess there's nothing more to say.
Rooks kind of took the words right out of me. I don't really have much else to say. So basically, Rooks is talking about how the Bastion has this special property of giving people second chances at life. The only problem is, we'll pretty much forget everything that happened. That brings an interesting point. If you ever had a second chance to pretty much fix any of the mistakes that you've ever done, would you take it?
Who am I kidding? Look. There's something else. A confession. How come I know so much about the Bastion? I designed the place, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, this is where I talk about using the musket to take advantage
place that sets things back to a bygone time.
Of the knockback and knock enemies off the edge.
You can't test it. So you're probably wondering if the calamity happened already. What's to stop it from happening again after the Bastion does its thing? The answer is... I don't know.
Yeah, that entire hopscotch was just essentially for that one whole section.
You're wondering if there ain't some other way out of this mess.
Honestly,
all right.
Nothing all that spectacular, because at this point, the hopscotch is used for nothing.
Unless...
Because now we get one final weapon.
With us.
But it's not one we can upgrade. So as soon as I open the gate and walk in, we get...
Well, that's sweet and all, but...
one last weapon. Also, another good thing about this level is that you get a crap ton of gems. But here it is.
The weight of
the battering ram.
It's on our shoulders. We can't just let it go.
the ultimate weapon in the game. You can destroy anything in pretty much 1 to 2 strikes.
Bastion does have another function, strictly speaking.
And this level essentially just becomes a slow walkthrough, destroying anything and everything in your path. It's kind of annoying though because it takes forever to keep walking. But yeah.
If ever the
your
couldn't repair it.
Right trigger skill is replaced with that
First, we'd round up
rain of meteors special. You can press B to bash Endura,
and we take off,
or slam the ground to grant a shockwave. And that's really all you do till the end of the game. Well, up to a certain point anyway. And I say up to a certain point for a specific reason.
Heavy, ain't it?
But anyways, yeah, this thing is very powerful.
Of course, that would mean no going back.
But it's...
But then again...
But it's nothing really really gaga because it's only gonna be there with us till this one level.
You know, Zolf and his countrymen won't be giving up that shard without a fight, don't you?
And here you pretty much just use the battering ram capabilities to pretty much destroy anything and everything that gets in your way.
Bastion fall.
Not really much to say. It takes. This is where most of the length of the episode takes, because of the fact that you can't run with this damn thing.
He can't have imagined the city would try to wipe the Earth out. Zolf ain't lost every shred of decency though, has he? He tried to...
And now this one.
He tried to warn the kid.
Just keep walking back and forth.
For Zolf, this ain't a personal matter.
And eventually, he'll fight you.
It ain't a simple matter of pride either.
Because right now, all he does is just teleport over to bring in Ura to fight for him, but eventually he will fight you. And once he does, beat him up, take the shard.
One thing's for sure, the Ura can't be happy that the kid followed Zolf all the way home.
And eventually you'll run into as soon as I stop collecting, as soon as I collect everything here, just move in and you'll come face to face with Zolf. And this is where the game pretty much just gives you two choices, which is leave Zolf to die and kill anything and everything that gets in your way to take back the shard, or take Zolf with you.
I can see it now. The kid in one corner, and Zolf in the other. Ain't much of a fight. Don't you
And
worry,
here it
though.
just
Once the Bastion's restored,
plays
it'll
out
all be
this
all
very
right.
slow sequence where you're getting fired at by all
You ain't
fronts
still thinking
from
about that whole
the
leaving
era,
the city thing, are you?
but eventually they do stop firing and eventually you can just go back to the Bastion. There's not really too much you can do except just slowly walk your way back. Although apparently you can still die here, which is really kind of weird in some regard, but eventually after a certain point they'll stop firing at you.
I see your star, you left it burning for
And now it's just pretty much just a slow climb back to the Skyway.
I'm here. Eyes open wide, feel your heart and it's glowing. I'm welcome home, sweet home.
Kid's probably dealt with Zolf by now.
Take your hand.
It reminds me of myself when I was his age. I ever tell you about those days?
And now we essentially just go back to the Bastion.
Hey, kid. Get up, kid. Come on, that ain't funny. I say get up. That's more like it. Now, set that shard into the monument there. Then we'll talk.
Now we've pretty much finished the game.
The Bastion. It's
You
finally
completed,
finished.
you fixed up the Bastion.
Now,
All that's left
there's
is
something I want you
to do one last thing.
Welcome to the heart of the Bastion. I ain't one for long goodbyes, so here's the deal. Zia and I figure you done the heavy lifting, so you get to do the honors. We can tell you how to work this thing if you got any questions. Hey, kid. You can undo the calamity here and now. Go on, kid. And before I forget, thank you. Always wondered what the motherland was like. Not that it matters anymore. Zolf only brought more ruin to the Ura. No wonder they didn't take kindly to him. You've got one thing left to do, so you hang on to that badge. Besides, you earned it. Don't let anything you've done get to you. You can save all those creatures here and now.
You made it. So, let's see. You can either prevent the calamity, or stick around with me and Rex. I'd hate to be in your shoes. If I could be any place I wanted, I'd stay right here. We could go anywhere in the world. Zolf tried to talk me into joining him. I tried to talk him out of it. I guess we both failed. When I finally found my people, I told them we could help. They just took me for a traitor. Glad you showed up. Any moment I'd want to live again happened after the calamity, not before.
So here's the deal. You get two options, which is evacuate and explore the world around you, deciding to accept the fate that the world's in calamity and just explore what's left of it, or restore and give this world a second chance at life. And usually I'm the kind of person that likes to give second chances whenever there's a possibility of it, even if our memory...
It's finished. Now sit tight. It'll be over soon.
Doesn't really, even if the memory of what happened with us now doesn't really stay with us.
You done good.
It's always worth a shot to see what happens, even if it doesn't end the same way.
Is to try and remember this moment.
At the very least I can say, at least I tried.
The Bastion's gonna take us back to a better time. Before any of this. Might be we'll forget everything you've done. And each other. Though after all we've been through, I find that hard to believe. So long, kid. Maybe I'll see you in the next one. Zealandia, we're coming home.
That's Bastion, ladies and gentlemen. So in terms of the endgames I played so far, it's alright. It does push a lot with its narrative and stuff, which is the reason why I kinda didn't mind doing post-commentary so much for it. And there was a decent amount of experimenting you can do with this game, so that's why I kind of like doing the post-commentary for it, because I can pretty much just explain everything in detail. But like I said, there's a lot that you can do with this game in terms of the experimentation, and everyone's got this sort of unique playstyle that just kind of works well for them, so there's enough variety in the gameplay to kind of warrant this sort of buy, and I think it's worthwhile. But then again, this isn't a game for everyone, I can probably imagine. The gameplay is good, but like a good some indie games, there is a more heavier emphasis on story rather than the actual gameplay, and that doesn't necessarily hurt it in the long run. It's definitely something that I can say it's not for everyone. That being said though, if you do want to see something different and do have some of the money to spend, this is a pretty good indie game to go check out. But that being said, in terms of all that's left to show off, the only thing I want to show off is the extra dream sequence that shows up when you play in the New Game Plus. And there I can explain pretty much the other extra things that are unlocked, as well as my personal way of going through the dream dream sequence when you have all the idols invoked. Because, let me tell you, that's probably one of the harder achievements to get in this game. But besides that, there's really not much else to say. So, with that being said, I'll see you for the extra part, and that'll be pretty much the end of this game. I'll see you guys then.